Hello from the Iowa Region Center for Early Development Education. The Iowa legislature created our center to represent all three state universities in the development and support for high-quality early childhood education for Iowa children from ages birth to age 8. Our center is housed at the University of Northern Iowa, and we are proud to have our early STEM program selected by the Iowa Governor's STEM Advisory Council in the past. So far, we have offered ramps and pathways and light and shadow STEM experiences, and we are delighted to have been accepted to offer WaterWorks to Iowa educators and their children. Our early STEM experiences are research-based and grown out of the work of Iowa children and their teachers. We receive requests around the world to provide professional learning, but we are happiest working in our own state with our youngest learners in the state of Iowa. WaterWorks is a collection of rich experiences over time that appeals to young children. Our criteria for experiences is that children must be able to produce an action with water on their own, and the response to their action is immediate and observable by the child, and that there is something for the child to vary. It is a rich context for children to develop their practices of science and engineering as defined by the next generation science standards. It also supports many of the Iowa early learning standards. In our professional learning, we will dig into what science and engineering practices look like and feel like in WaterWorks experiences. Early childhood has long embraced sink and float experiences with water. We take this further by observing children's curiosity about water and how we can support children's investigations in finding answers to their questions. In our professional learning, we will engage in experiences to observe the behavior of water droplets and how they respond to different materials, compare the viscosity of water with oil, observe patterns in the movement of water, such as waves and ripples, how water droplets attract each other, and how this affects the movement of droplets on an incline. We provide experiences for children to understand that water takes the shape of its container and how the design of the container can trick us into thinking that one container can hold more or less water as compared to another. We can continue to explore sink and float, but we also discuss how the concepts within sink and float are much more complex than what we might first believe. And we discuss how to avoid misconceptions in playing with sink and float with our children. We also explore how water can be used as a force to move with water wheels, how water as a force can erode soil and land, and how the amount of water in a container affects the pressure of water as it exits the container. Finally, we explore how we can engineer the movement of water by damming, pumping, or building a system to move water on our water wall. At our professional learning, you will bring home a kit of materials to investigate water with your young learners. They will be the materials you use in the professional learning, so you will be familiar of how to use them. The scale-up has allowed us to improve our water wall system. On the left, you see a child pouring water into a reservoir connected to a hose and rings to hold cups with holes in them to allow one cup to empty into another. On the right, you see prototypes of an improvement to our water wall system. The Department of Industrial Technology at the University of Northern Iowa is using this redesign experience as a real-life experience for their industrial technology students. They are exploring a vertical wall and comparing it with a horizontal design. They are also working to include a hand pump to get the water from the top to the top of the waterfall and into the reservoir. You will bring home the improved water wall as part of your classroom kit. Research is showing the importance and power of playful learning. We have conducted research that found synergy of engineering and science in children's playful learning. By giving children materials with a large or macro open-ended questions such as, what can you do with water? Children begin to pose their own smaller or meso engineering design problem. As they build and test their design to answer their questions, they encounter smaller problems or micro problems of physics that deepen their understanding of the properties of water and how their design needs to change based on their growing understanding. In Iowa, most preschools are developmentally appropriate, and children are provided time to engage in playful learning. With the increased focus on standardized testing and literacy, like the rest of the nation, Iowa's kindergartens, first grades, and second grades seldom have time for science or STEM. We know that children need to engage in literacy experiences every day to develop into lifelong readers. But we also know that children need to engage in STEM experiences every day to develop science inquiry and engineering habits of mind. This will increase young children's development as readers. In this graphic, you see an example of how K-2 children spend their time in school. They spend most of the day in whole group and small group literacy experiences, then experiences in mathematics, and sometimes they get to science at the end of the day. We help teachers find time for their children to engage in STEM learning every day by maximizing children's time in learning during small group literacy. Just as children engage in literacy practices independently, they can also engage in independent inquiry experiences, such as WaterWorks, alongside those independent literacy experiences. We examine how independent STEM experiences grow vocabulary and language and authentic reasons to read and write. When you engage in WaterWorks experiences, you will find that your children will also grow in their literacy development. WaterWorks awardees will attend 2 full days of professional learning led by master teachers who have experiences as classroom teachers of their own young children. Each session will be 6 hours long, running from 9 o'clock to 3:30 in the afternoon. The first session will be a weekday in July or August, and the second session will be on a Saturday in October or November. Each session will be highly interactive and playful. You will be exploring the same materials you will offer to your young learners. Wear comfortable clothes. At the first session, you will also take home your classroom kit. You will stay connected to your instructor and peers using a private social media page. Upon completion of those 2 sessions, you will receive 1 UNI graduate credit. This credit translates into 15 CDAs for those of you needing this type of certification. Attending both days will bring you $240 to help you cover expenses to attend the professional learning sessions. Some of you have been past awardees of Ramps and Pathways and of Light and Shadow. Your work is being featured in 2 Teacher's Guide in a book series, STEM for Our Youngest Learners. We are beginning work on a 3rd book, Investigating Water with Young Children, and we invite you to be part of this work so we can showcase Iowa educators and their children's creativity and innovation in this new book. I'm going to end with a video inviting you to learn with us. We hope to see you soon.
water in. Put it right here, and I'll put mine right here. I'm trying to figure out an idea. Look at my system. My system is working. My system is working. My system. I'm skipping one. I'll try right back.